I know it's been a while, mainly because sports news has been very slow. I know I stopped like midway during the World Cup, but the reason being was because there was just everything basically going on, and it was covered everywhere in the media. That it was like, everything you said had already been said, essentially. And I think a lot of people knew where the World Cup was going, for the most part, hence why I kind of stopped doing the videos and everything else. But, yeah, what up? So, I wanted to just kind of talk and address a couple things about what's going to happen and what's going on for the future, essentially. So, I've had a couple ideas and I've been really thinking. Now, I know I made a video months ago regarding FIFA 18, where I was pretty upset with the game as a whole and just wasn't having fun playing it. Now, FIFA 19 is about a month or so away, if I'm not mistaken. It usually comes out about end of September. We're about midway August, so about a month and a half maybe away at most. And I love the FIFA franchises. I play them every single year. I buy them every single year. And I'm always willing to give them a chance, regardless of basically things that have gone wrong with the game, in terms of the gameplay being absolute garbage and everything else. And with the new features that they've announced for FIFA 19, it genuinely has me very excited for the game. The whole pick a player packs, where you get a pack with like 5 players and you get to pick which player from the pack you get, I think is absolutely incredible. And shout outs Nick2018, one of my favorite streamers over on Twitch. He's been asking about that for 2 years. What if we got an option like that where we get to pick a player as a reward, which I think is great. I'm very intrigued to see the whole thing with what happens regarding the new game mode. So they've taken the daily knockout tournament completely out. For those of you who didn't know, the DKT is gone for good for FIFA 19, and it's being replaced by, I think it's Rival Seasons, something like that, or Season Rival. And what it is, it looks like very similarly to squad battles, where you get points based on your division, you move up. And another cool thing is that at the end of it, you actually get to pick the reward that you get. So like if you move up a division, so basically take squad battles and I guess online seasons and put them together into an online mode where you're going to be getting points to move up your divisions, and it's all going to be based on your skill and how you do in the games. Now, a lot of people have been mentioning that they would actually like to see weekend tournament kind of go this way, or weekend league. And I kind of agree. Because if you look at Weekend League, it kind of sucks. We're 1 or 2 losses for the guys who hit the top 100, who go like 40-0, 40-1, like the crazy amounts. I get it in a sense, because obviously, it sucks because you lose 1, 2, 3 games. You're in a weird spot where maybe top 100, depending on your console, you could be knocked out, which sucks obviously for the pro players, or 4 or 5. Instead, if they did a ranking system, kind of like this season rival or rival seasons and squad battles, where it was like, it didn't matter. You could outplay your opponent but lose 1-0. But guess what? You're still going to get a good number of skill points, and it's not going to kill your standings overall. Like, I get it. A loss is a loss at the end of the day. But I think it would be kind of a welcome change. And then they could put a cap at how many games you play, or you could play as many hell games you want. It would be cool if they did something like that. A lot of people have been saying that, and I think guys from the community like Chewboy, Bateson, and all of them were mentioning it when they were over with the guys from EA. I don't know, I think they were over in England, and they had kind of mentioned it over there. So, I really like that too, is they had the content creators there. And, there's other guys I would argue should be there, and there's other guys I argue shouldn't be there. Guys I think should be a part of it, as I have mentioned. I am a big fan and a big stream watcher of Nick2018 and Nepenthes. They are 2 guys that I've been watching on FIFA, specifically Nepenthes, I would say, for a very long time, for years. And, the fact that they're not seen as game changers, even though I think they've done a lot for the game. I know they have their past with the coin buying, but I mean, and I'm not taking anything away from him, so does a guy like Zwei. He advertised coins, and Zwei is great. I absolutely love Zweibeck's content. Bateson as well is, I think, still probably one of the best and most stand-up guys. Chuboy is absolutely great. And, I really like the fact that Bateson was there, Chuboy was there, and the two of them, it seems like from what they've been saying on social media and everything, is that they've been very honest. Like Chuboy said, when I spoke with some of the guys at EA, I told them I didn't like the pack animation, which the one they showed for the UT reveal trailer, the pack animation FIFA 19 looked absolutely garbage. Like, it does not look good. I don't like it at all. Bateson as well said the same thing. He wasn't a fan of it. So they had told them, like, listen, we don't like it, and I'm sure you're going to kind of get backlash for it. And, of course, on Twitter, a lot of people were like, yeah, it looks really ugly. So hopefully they change it. The card design. The card design looks nice. It's different. Just, I noticed in the video, and again, the game is still about a month and a half or so away. Like, I'm sure we're going to get more at Gamescom, which is, I think, the end of this month, early September, around there. But they were saying, like, the card design, it was very hard to tell a difference between, like, a rare player and a non-rare. They said, like, the rare players don't stand out, really. Speaking of card design, which I like as well, the icons. So they're still called icons, they're no longer legends, but they went back to the old design of like the ivory colored cards, like the white cards, which I really liked because I think it was Zorro was the guy in the video with Chu, and he said we want to give them that pop, like that they really stand out from a different card in your club, which I totally agree with, because last year when they introduced the icons on both systems, they were blue and kind of similar to like a team of the year or team of the season. So when you started mixing in the team of the years and team of the seasons, the icons didn't look as special because it looked like a card that we had seen. But now if you go to those ivory off-whites, like they look so crisp. Now the thing with icons was there was a leak that came out from, I believe it was a French YouTuber, and it was picked up by a French website, I believe, as well, that apparently, like, the icons in the game, it should be, if not all or most of them from FIFA 18, and a lot returning from like when the Xbox on 17 and 16, etc. So they announced they've announced like 8 new icons already. We're getting Claude Makelele, which is sick. And the fact that like teams can have Conte, Pogba, and Makelele is disgustingly terrifying, but it's so cool at the same time. Steven Gerrard and Frank Lampard, which people started going nuts because I think they rated Gerrard 1 higher than Lampard. I think Gerrard they put at 91 and Frank at 90. And of course, people lost their absolute minds about that. Which, if you're a Chelsea fan, I get it. They should probably be about the same rating as somebody from the outside looking in. I wasn't crazy about either of them growing up because I didn't really care. I felt like the players I liked were better, which was like a Luis Figo. I always felt he was better than Lampard and Gerrard, so I never really got the hubbub. So it was, Gerrard, Lampard, Makelele, Seedorf is back, so there's one. No, Seedorf never had a legend card, did he? I don't know, see, because if Seedorf did have a legend card, it was on Xbox, and I've always been a PlayStation gamer, which if you've been following me for years, you know that I've always been a PlayStation guy. Uzet, I am so excited. I have been asking for this card even when Legends were only on Xbox. Eusebio is finally in the game. The greatest Benfica player, and arguably, other than Ronaldo, the greatest Portuguese player ever, is officially in the game. Cruyff was announced as well. Raul, as Dr. Disrespect says, was added in there as well. And I feel like I'm missing one. Zebu, Gerrard, Lampard, Cruyff. Oh, Rivaldo. Rivaldo was the other one. And then, there was Claude Makelele and Seedorf, I believe. And then Raul. Awesome. Like, I love all of them. And it looks like we're getting icon stories in terms of, like, 3 versions. because Gerard, they did a video, like a promo for Stevie G, where it's him like talking about his career, and it showed 3 different versions. So like the middle one was like 91 rated, there was like an 86, and I think like an 88 or something like that. So there was 3 different Gerards, and it was cool because they showed him like even in game have a baby face, like the Gerard we kind of remember from near the end with Liverpool. So it looked really cool overall. Hopefully it does stick that way with the game when it actually comes out. So then again, let's go back to that leak that came out regarding, again, it was either from a French YouTuber or a website where they were saying, I think there's going to be 69 icons in the game. And amongst those names was a lot of them returning from like FIFA 17 and 18, all coming back. Because there was rumors about R9 and Ronaldinho not being in 19 because of, I think, licensing. But on this list, R9 and Ronaldinho were both on there. I think Roberto Carlos was. Figo was back on there. Rui Costa, Deco. George Best was back on this list as well. And again, I think it was a lot of the guys from 17 who were kind of missed. There was a couple like notable ones missing. I think it was Van Nistelrooy. Van Nistelrooy was missing, and I feel like one of the Germans might have been missing too. I can't remember which one. But there was a couple. There's a list that if you find it online, I'm sure if you just type in like leaked FIFA 19 icons, the list is there. And again, I think there's like 69 or 70 of them. So that's a thing. If that list is true, because the person who made the list says that they were there as a game changer with EA. If that list is true, then if there is going to be 3 versions of every single icon, you're looking at like 270 additional players, whatever the math is. I'm not good at math. 3 versions of those cards, you're looking at well over 200 to 300 cards on icons alone, which is really cool. Like, that gives you more content and I guess more chance to pack one, to actually use one, and, you know, try out different players. Like, again, a guy like a Claude Makelele, if Patrick Vieira is back in the game, having those 2 guys in your midfield is going to be so much fun, I'm sure, for the guys who, like, the pros and the guys who have the coins to do it. Like, it looks really good. Then, you know, they did other things with card design, like they changed the one to watch, how those cards look, which I really like it. Like, some people are like, oh, it's too much. It looks great. Champions League and Europa League is officially licensed, so now you're going to have, like, Champions League Man of the Match and Europa League Man of the Match with, like, special card designs again, which those are little things to me that are cool, especially because they actually have the licensing for the 2. They changed a lot of things in kickoff mode, but, you know, that's more if you're playing co-op at a friend's house and you wanted to just kind of do, like, arcadey and kind of cool things here and there. But going back to the icon thing, now that I remember, one of the guys from EA, like, of course, all these guys from EA, I kind of feel bad because they're going to be tweeted and messaged so much about any little detail that comes out that it's going to be so hard to answer. So I think it was Corey, EA Corey. He was being, like, he had put out a tweet today where he mentioned something about, about leaks. He said, I will never, like, confirm them on Twitter or anything. He goes, that's stuff that over the next month or so is going to be coming out from us and all this stuff. Kind of explaining it. And, of course, he's not going to be like, hey, yeah, this leak is true. You're going to have to wait for EA's actual Twitter to be like, hey, here it is, or their website, whatever. So he did not deny it either, is my thing. He said, I'm just never going to comment or confirm on them. But again, he did not say, yeah, that list is fake. So, optimism or he's leading us on, one or the other, take your pick. But I mean, if there is that many icons, I won't complain because I would like to try some of them out in a draft or something. I think it would be cool. Especially if you have to do the SBC still to get the Prime versions, then, you know, then you're kind of adding that little element as well of player prices actually going up during the year at some point, and just, you know, when they do launch the Primes. But overall, I'm very excited for 19. And I can't remember if I was this excited for 18. I don't feel like I was. I feel like one of the big things that got me going for 19 was Eusebio being announced. I think that was huge because as a Portuguese and Benfica fan, he was like, Figo was great. Ronaldo's great, but he is kind of that legend, that glue that kind of made Portuguese football what it was. Like, a lot of people were like, oh, Cruyff's in it, and he made what modern football is now. I'm like, yeah, he probably did. But at least for Portuguese players, all of us, and even Pele, a lot of times has credited Eusebio for being that guy to football. Like, being the guy who made it in Europe and gave recognition to a lot of teams was him. So, like, I'm not here to start a debate, but for me personally, having Eusebio in the game is just, it's so cool. So, a lot of questions are going to be asked, like, oh, what are the icons going to be rated? In that video, you got to remember, no ratings are probably final. I'm going to say probably because I don't see them changing many. The only one I do see them changing is maybe Lampard and Gerrard and Cruyff, because a lot of people were saying Cruyff should be a lot higher than 94. And again, I'll make the argument, if you're going to make Cruyff higher than 94, I think Eusebio's got to be a little bit higher than 93. So that's going to lead to arguments here and there and everywhere, essentially. But, that's debate, that's EA, that's FIFA, that's what it is. But why am I talking so much about FIFA 19 after I basically trashed 18? Again, it comes down to the gameplay, and it comes down to how good it is. Now, I was watching Bateson live stream on Facebook today, and he said he was going to be taking questions and talking about things that he is allowed to talk about regarding FIFA 19. And I had asked in the chat, I had said, how's the gameplay? And he said basically how it works is like they got different versions of the gameplay. And he said, they're allowed to give feedback. And he said that there was the one, I think it was the last one they played, which is like the build that they're kind of going towards now. He said it felt very good. And he said it felt better than 18. He said there was a lot of improvements which people wanted. And he said it felt very smooth, which was great. And, and I said when FIFA 18 came out, like pre-patch, it was the best soccer game / football game I've ever played in my life. Like, by a country mile, the best game I have ever played. And I loved it. And then, of course, and a lot of people would probably agree with me. And then the first patch came out, and it felt like FIFA 17 or something. Like, there was nothing there. There was no skill gap. Whereas when 18 did come out, I felt like if I was better than my opponent, I was truly better than him. And if he was better than me, I probably deserved to lose. Like, that's how it always felt with me when the game first came out. So I really do hope 19 is exactly that. And I don't hope that they screw it up first, second patch or whatever. But again, time will tell. But it's nice to hear that early on, the guys who have tried the game have said that it looks really good, it feels good. They were saying, like, and it's true, and somebody else mentioned this about the graphics of the game. Somebody was like, oh, the graphics don't look great in the game. What more do you want? Like, PES looks to me almost arcadey. Like, it looks good, but the way it moves feels weird. With EA, I feel like the movement of players is very good, and maybe you have to sacrifice a bit of graphics, which to me, I'm like, that's fine. I would rather have the movement of my player feel real compared to something else. And of course, they're going to add little audio and visual things here and there as the year does go on for the game. But nonetheless, very, very excited. I just hope, again, as long as the gameplay is good, I think everything that they have added to this game in terms of like that season rivals where it's going to be a part of the qualification for weekend league and it's replacing daily knockout tournament and online season, plus you get rewards and then you get to actually choose some rewards, so it can be like a certain pack or coins or something. I think it's a great idea. I absolutely love that one. It's all little things that I think they're making the right fixes for the game to make Ultimate Team specifically very exciting, even the things they did for kickoff. As well as the gameplay is good, there's no question, I think, with the feature that they added on, it's going to be really good. And again, I'll go back to Mason's live stream where I was asked, or somebody else asked him about how's FIFA 19, and he had said, basically, he goes, everything that they added, he goes, I'm very excited, and he goes, I agree with everything. And I know some people are going to be like, oh, but Bateson is with EA, he's a game changer. But Bateson is very good with, if he doesn't like something, he will say it. Like I said, pack animation, some of the card things, some of the little things here and there he mentioned. but he said from the gameplay and the game modes that they added, it seems really good. Chewboy said basically the exact same things. He said just the idea I would propose was getting rid of the Weekend League in terms of doing the 40 game playthrough, and instead doing Weekend League as a game type where it's a ladder system in terms of not how many can you win in 40, do you got to go 40-0. Play as many as you can, or put a cap and have it actually like a point-based thing on your skill. It's similar to squad battles in a sense, and how well you actually do in the games and whatnot, which I'm totally cool with as well. I think that's a great idea by Chewboy. And and EA still have about a month or so. Like, here's the thing. EA can have all these things placed on the game right now and say, okay, this is it. But if in the next month or so people are unhappy and really want this change, even after the game comes out, the first patch they could go, all right, here we go. We fixed exactly all those issues that you guys wanted. So I'm looking forward to it. And a big reason I'm bringing it up is I'm thinking about bringing back, gameplay in FIFA 19 to the channel. And a big reason for that is I'm just excited for the game. I would like to have something kind of on the side other than just playing the game by myself. If I am opening packs or something, I can record it and do pack openings like I used to. Or just, anything small. If I decide to play a Weekend League, we could record my games and see how I do. Just all those little things like that, just to see if I could get good at the game, if I do like the game, what players are good, kind of doing player reviews and all that stuff, and just kind of slowly building a little thing here and there. But we'll definitely see. The game comes out in about a month or so, month and a half. If anything else does get updated, I'll probably make a video. But so far, so good. From what I remember and what I've seen from FIFA 19. Again, the biggest thing is going to come down to the gameplay. The features that they've added, I absolutely love. I think they'll be great, and hopefully they are. So yeah, I'll upload this. If you are new, leave a like, leave a comment. You could ask me questions about FIFA 18, 19, anything, or real-life football, or any sport really. I'm open to discussion. Twitter and everything will also be down below. But it's been your boy, Andrew RFC. Peace, much love, take care, and bang. Good night to the bad guy.